from one that might have genetics for a large celeriac.
I don't get involved in that. I don't know enough about that.
Well, if they're telling you to choose the best carrots to put in for your...
I don't do that either. I don't take...
Oh, I thought you did.
I don't take terribly small carrots, and I don't take odd-shaped carrots.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You want to just take it as is?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try this one. Don't want to disturb you too much. Oh, wow. Ah, okay.
Yeah, just set them down there.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a beautiful day in the squash neighborhood, and this is the end of the squash season. As you will notice, you don't see those great big leaves that used to be here. Everything, as you know, the Hubbard squash met its demise early on. I managed to save one plant, and I did pick a large one Hubbard squash that I got. I think it's in the greenhouse, curing. The next type, and this is what spurred me to pick everything, examine the stems, and that was right here. Welcome butternut, the moschata squash, and look what happened. Looks nice on the outside. Get a look at that. So, a mouse had a wonderful dinner, and the other thing I have to report, all over this, I am seeing and destroying the persistent cucumber striped beetle. They are still at work. This is the longest I've ever seen them survive in a season. This is probably the fourth generation of these things, but I'm going to get rid of all of them because I don't want them laying eggs in the soil here. Although it remains to be seen whether we will grow squash in this area again next year. It's a good idea to rotate if you have the room, and that's how you can defeat some of these pests. So, this will go into a compost pile off in the woods, and I'll just leave this here for now. But this is what I pulled out yesterday because I was afraid if I didn't protect them in some way that those mice are going to come out and devour everything else. So here I have one smallish butternut, and it's still a little green, but I thought I'm not going to leave it in the ground for the mice to eat. These are more the size that I got. So I have 3 here, and their stems are just starting to get golden and on their way to brown. This one is still kind of green, but it has also started at the base. Yeah, so you can see some of the stems were still green, and it's green here, but you can see how it's getting golden right here. And I don't see too much of green in here. I would have preferred to have them all be a beautiful beige like this. This looks really more mature to me. And it's also has lost most of the green here. It's sort of a yellow. And these were the other ones. And I put them up on the bench because I figured the mice cannot climb this smooth plastic. They'd be safe up there. But there was no more room, and so I took the others from the ground, and you can see this stem is still quite green, and so is this. But I'm going to bring it in to cure anyway, because, as I said, I don't want the mice to have their way. And so here I have, how many? 2. Yeah, and you can see this one. A green stem for sure. Just beginning, and you can see this green stripe. It would be nicer if these were a nice beige, but last year I left them in too long and I was very sorry. So, that's it for the Waltham butternuts. Here is the graveyard of the unfortunate Hubbard squash, which got attacked by both the spotted and striped cucumber beetle and the vine borer. And that was the first one to go, 2 plants there, and I had 2 plants here. And I was very happy that I at least was able to save 1 plant and get 1 squash. And but this one, because it was likely to be diseased from the vine borer, this will go way out into the woods. And we'll see what happens with this area. I mean, we'll clean it out further, but we might be growing something different, not squash. These are the 2 hills that housed the 4 Delicata plants, and they did very well. They were pretty stalwart against the spotted and striped cucumber beetle. I did find the beetles in their flowers, but it didn't seem to hurt the squashes themselves. But yesterday, because I was in a mood to clean up, I did harvest all of the Delicatas, and I have a bucket full, and they're in various sizes. Some were still immature like that, but they look like they're the real thing. And here's more of a regular size. And these are called honeyboat because the Delicatas are very sweet. So these will come up to the house. These don't require weeks of curing. They cure pretty quickly, and people like to eat them soon. So this will come up to the house with us today, and probably those. From the squash department, I forgot to show you this colossal Hubbard squash, which is the one that I had to rescue. I was afraid the frost or the mice would get to that. And it looked like it was getting brown and crusty here. So out it comes. That's going to cure. And you can keep that for 6 months in your cold room, and it'll be even more flavorful in 6 months as it continues to cure. And that's what I read. The other thing, you saw the bucket of the Delicatas, and all of those were pulled yesterday. And this is what I didn't tell you, that the day before I had picked 9 of the Waltham butternut squashes. And they, I hope they'll be okay. They've started to turn their yellow color at the stem. So that is the final story. And the next thing you'll probably see is when we clean out. Because as I said, I still found the striped beetles in one of the flowers of the Delicatas yesterday. That made me pretty mad, but I thought, well, these little buggers are persistent. But, you know, so are we. And if we want to grow them without pests next year, we have to really clean out that garden and maybe rotate fewer squash and to another side of the property. And as we just make those decisions, we'll let you know. So thank you for being so patient with my squash department. Which head is bigger, mine or